Good morning, YouTube. I didn't sleep too good last night. Still waking up a little bit. This morning, I plan on going and picking up a whole bunch of sugar cane. So I'll be driving out here about 9 o'clock this morning to go get some sugar cane, and that's gonna help with things because the other place is gonna be, I'm gonna have some pretty long rows of sugar cane out there when I get ready. So if I'll go ahead and grow some here, then when time comes, I'll be able to split it out and or hopefully be able to split it out and have my own seed nodes. So that's what I'm doing this morning. I made it to the road yesterday, cutting down bamboo, and let me show you that real quick. We're all the way out to the road. It's been a little bit tougher getting that stuff cut down and moved over where I can grind it up than I figured. And I still have a lot of work to do on that. I haven't got the property line cleaned. My property line is about 40, 20, maybe 20, 30 foot inside the bushes there. So I've got a considerable amount of bamboo and trees and vines and stuff to cut down. Spent pretty much all day staying busy. I moved my little outhouse, got that set up, dug me a nicer hole, and generally got some situations worked out. Started working on the chipper shredder yesterday, and it just I may need to purchase a new set of blades, but with that comes, I went and bought Allen wrenches to take the blades off with, and I can't even get the screws undone for the blades. So I was thinking, well, I'll just pull them off and either use a file or an angle grinder and just sharpen them, and if I can't get it apart, that's a problem. So I'm going to be working on that a little bit this morning after I get back, and I'll probably just cut some more bamboo down this morning. So that's the morning update. There's really not a whole lot new that's going on. I've been going back and forth to the grocery store, splurging on a few things so I can get started. I bought a whole pile of sweet potatoes. That's going to be one of the first things I plant in my garden. Sweet potato is a multi-use crop. Most people don't know this. You can eat the leaves and you can eat the tubers. And in Florida, sweet potatoes don't really stop growing. They're really invasive down here. So my thinking was, well, that's an advantage for me. That's less stuff I have to buy at the grocery store. I get a lot of good sweet salad greens out of it that'll taste good. Very rich in vitamins. So I was thinking to interplant those with the sugar cane to give them something to climb on. And then I also bought some ginger, and I've already had ginger planted out here, but I don't know if it's going to come back this spring. It should, but there's a lot of wood-boring beetles and stuff out here that could cause that to not happen. So I bought some sprouting trays yesterday. They're just cheap Walmart plastic containers. I bought some sturdy ones. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of water in the bottom of them and let these tubers, kind of soak up in the water and grow a little bit, so that when I go to plant, they'll already be rooted. So that's this morning, and later on this afternoon, I've got to go down to down south to see the kids, and I'll be gone for most of the weekend, or at least some of it. Whew. So I'm gonna run out there, see the kids, see how they're doing, and all that stuff, and maybe we'll drive back up and camp a little bit this weekend up here, because this year there hasn't been too much ticks in the spring, and there hasn't been a whole lot of mosquitoes or anything, and it's been nice and cool, and I think they'll have fun out here. But we'll see what everybody wants to do when we get down there. There's no point in forcing something on somebody if they don't want to do it. You just get stubborn, like I do. And they're my kids, so I can't expect them not to get stubborn like that. So that's the basic idea. I really wish I had gotten a lot more done this week. It rained just enough to cause problems with me, just not being able to get as much done as I wanted to, and then other things came up, and well, whatever, I really want to get that property cleared and get the fence, get my garden fence up, because that means I'll be able to start growing, and that's the whole point. It was cold this morning. Cold. I woke up and there was frost on the ground and on the plants and stuff. So I've got to later on today walk around, check on some plants, because I've got citrus out here, and I've got mangoes and a couple other things that may or may not do very well. And along those lines, I've got a bunch of papaya seeds that I'm going to sprout sometime in the next few days. Probably when I do the tuber roots, I'll just go ahead and wet down a paper towel and put it in one of the sprouting trays. And it's a bunch of papaya seeds. So I have to pick a spot on the property where I want to grow papaya. And papaya is one of those things that it's not something that I eat now, but it's a crop that produces a lot of fruit. And because of that, I think it's worthwhile to grow on my place, because I can adapt to what I eat to what I have. And so that's kind of the thinking there, is anything that doesn't really grow easy in Florida, I'm just going to go ahead and cull out of the yard. Anything that gets diseases too quick, we're not going to do it. So things like pineapples grow real easy, aloe vera grows really easy. You can eat both. I don't usually eat aloe vera. Usually I just use it for wounds. But you can eat it. And I'm going to learn how. Probably stir fry. And so there's some things like that, and then there's unusual things for lettuce greens, like the sweet potato, and then I'll be planting other things like perennial spinach, which that's something where you only have to plant it every couple of years, and you get harvest off of it for like 2 years, and so that's worthwhile, because that's a kale that's kind of like a spinach. So that's going to be a good thing. The less that you have to replant all the time, the better, the better your garden's going to be. Picking things where you can just kind of maintain them instead of having to do the work all the way over again is kind of, that's my philosophy. Is, hey, some things are really nice, but if they're kind of aggravating to deal with, let's just do something easier. You know, that's just the way it is. Because the mechanized farming system that we have, you can always go to the grocery store, you can always get broccoli, you're going to get onions, you're going to get potatoes, you're going to get carrots, and you can't grow that stuff in the yard as cheap, or as they sell it in the supermarket sometimes. So don't get me wrong, I like some carrots and I'll probably grow some, but there's there's some things that just aren't worth it for the time investment. So as I go along, certain things are going to get pulled. You know, for instance, I'll give you an example of this, is the peach trees. I had peach trees in the yard, and I had 4 different trees that I bought. And out of 4 trees, I've got one that survived. So if for whatever reason peach trees don't like this area, they don't like my soil, and they continue to die, I'm just not going to plant peach trees no more. It's not worth it. I really love to eat some peaches, but I just can't. I can't keep wasting money on something that won't grow. You know? And a lot of that is not irrigation or anything like that. It's the diseases that get in them and cause problems. And that's the biggest issue, is the diseases problems. It's just like they get molds and weird stuff that none of these other trees out here have a problem with. And so I just won't do that. You know, if that surviving tree grows, great. And if I can find a super hardy peach tree somewhere that somebody's got that they've had in this area for a while, and get some cuttings off of it and sprout that out, great. But I'm not gonna go way out of my way for something that just won't grow anymore. So there's that. There's gonna be a lot of things that are not maybe considered growable this far north, but are, like papaya and citrus and avocados and things like that, because I really enjoy the fruits from them. But the other thing that I plan on doing is things like passion fruit, stuff like that, where that's more of a, you know, warmer climate thing, but it grows fast enough in the summertime and the fall to get a harvest off of it, and before it's cold. So there'll be some things like that coming up too that I'd really like to do. You know, I've got things planted like rosemary bushes and stuff that I've got to actually get uncovered from some of the weeds that grew up around them. And yeah, so doing pretty good. Good start to the garden here, with the things that are already in the ground, and in the long run, that's going to be what we need to do. So, yep. All right. I don't really have any new plans. I'm just kind of thinking about what I want to do and how much work I really need to stay here and do this weekend. I'd really like to just stay here all weekend and work, but family is important, and the kids really enjoy daddy time, and it makes me happy too. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that today, later this evening. And one of the other things I'll be doing over the weekend is maybe a couple videos of the paperwork for the ag stuff, because I don't have a real good table to just sit down out here and sit down and work through that. So I've got a number of different forms to fill out, and loan applications and grant applications to fill out. So I'm going to sit down and do that. And on the way down south, I'm going to stop by the county office and get a fictitious name, business name, paperwork, so that I can sit down and I'll have an operating license for this county that I can use. I'm just going to name it the same thing as my YouTube channel. I renamed that last night, thinking about things, and I may rename it yet again, just because I'm still working through ideas right now. So that's the morning thoughts, and I think, because I was gonna do a bunch of how-to videos and stuff like that, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do my morning thoughts, and then when something comes up during the day that I have to handle, I'll just take a little video and show you what I'm doing. And then it might not end up even being real super professional, but I'll just show you how I handle it, so that, you know, somebody that's watching from day to day will be able to go, oh, okay, that's how you handle that, you know. But I'm not really sure. I've been just picking up the phone and video and whatever I do when I'm doing it, and kind of just saving that. So there may be some videos in the future where I just put a compilation together of things that I've got, because one of the things that I got advice from other YouTubers that have been doing it for a while was to save a lot of extra footage. You know, you might only put out a 15-minute video once or twice a week, you know, but if you save several hours worth of footage, then you know, when something else comes up, you might have a good clip somewhere in there to add to that other video. Or you might be able to just, you know, maybe you're just not feeling it that week and you don't want to, you know, you're sick or something, and so you just go through some of the old footage, you know, wrapped in your fuzzy blanket behind the computer, and you know, upload. It makes it easy when you're on vacation or having downtime, because you can prepare in advance to have these videos for upload, and then go do whatever it is that you want to do for a few weeks or a few months or whatever it is. So that's kind of the thought process there. I'm trying to think and plan ahead, and you know, yesterday I come up with an idea that maybe it's going to be a smart idea to go ahead and get a Connex storage container, or a shipping container, a Connex box, and put a Connex box out here. I priced it out. It's going to be right around $2,500 for a 40-foot, 8-foot wide, 9.5-foot tall shipping container. And I think that's going to be the smart move for me, because I have a lot of tools out here, and I really need them under lock and key, and I need workbenches and places to do mechanical work and stuff like that, and I need access to tools. So that's going to be the next big purchase. I'll be doing that when my tax return comes in, and I already have a pretty good idea where I'm going to put it. So yeah, that should be it for this morning. That's the morning thoughts and morning meditation. A little bit of update. And you all have a good day. If you like it, subscribe.